that affect all of us and unite to address them. They say that unity against a common enemy is a strategy, a very good strategy for survival. As the scripture says, every kingdom divided against itself is laid waste, and no city or house divided against itself will stand. According to Matthew 12:25. I am always so distressed to see the utter disregard for the sanctity and value of human life in Nigeria. It is always a pain to me to see newspaper headlines such as this, and I quote, from Daily Champion: horror, cultists behead 3 students. The Guardian: gunmen kill soldier, kidnap kids and German. This day, more soldiers killed in battle with fanatics. Boko Haram deputy leader caught. Mosque demolished in Kano. The Tide: divorcee 25 throws baby into latrine. The Tide: doctor orders in police net over sale of children. The Punch: 14 killed in police robber gun duels. This day, landlord beat tenants to death. Another this day, contaminated vegetable oil lands 40 people in hospital. The Tide: man in police net for selling murder. Daily Trust: 9,572 died in crashes in 2008. The Sun newspaper: Nigeria ranked 154 among 182 countries in UN Human Development Index. I think everybody sees, we all see this kind of newspaper headlines every day, don't we? It's very distressing. One day, I decided to go out on the streets of Abuja to talk to people. I was so distressed. I wanted to know if I'm the only one feeling like this. What did other people think about the appreciation or non-appreciation of the value of human life in Nigeria? I asked people to respond to a survey questionnaire that I have made before going out on the street. I asked them to respond on a scale of 1 to 5. If they thought the appreciation of the value of human life in Nigeria was very low, if it's very low, they should score 1. If it is low, they should score 2. If it's so-so, they should score 3. If it is high, they should score 4. And if it's very high, they should score 5. Out of about 150 people that I spoke to, almost everyone said it was low or very low. In fact, everyone, except maybe 1 or 2 persons who didn't understand my question very well, said something out of it, but everyone said it was low or very low. And now talking to people in Abuja, I could safely assume that I was getting the view of people from across this country, because Abuja is very well representative of people of different ethnic groups and states. I follow up with the next question. I asked, what did they observe that make them take the position that the value of human life in Nigeria is very low or low? And typical issues that were cited were: 1, poor security; 2, extrajudicial killings. 3. Militancy. 4. Sectarian violence. 5. Armed robbery. 6. Kidnapping. 7. Poor education. 8. Diminishing economic opportunities. 9. Lack of basic amenities such as electricity and water. 10. Oppression of the poor by the rich. 11. Election rigging. 12. Unemployment. 13. Embezzlement in high places. 14. Abuse of human rights. 15. The poor sees life as unimportant. 16. People don't speak the truth. 17. Love of money. 18. Political killings involving high-level people and the police. 19. Abortion. 20. Failed infrastructure. 21. Killings at checkpoints for 20 naira. 22. Government does not protect people. 23. Ill-equipped hospitals and poor health facilities. 24. Senseless killings and no justice is met. And so on. Anyway, I stop there. These are points that you have more than one person saying the same thing. So I took those ones. The list was long. Now, as a minister of God, I was interested in what religious leaders can do to help in improving upon the appreciation of the value of human life in Nigeria. My respondents gave various suggestions. I asked them, what do you think religious leaders can do? Oh, religious leaders should provide education. Educate people more. A lot of illiterates. A lot of people are not educated. So provide education. Preach more. It's not enough. Preach. People are just preaching about money and riches. Preach about moral life. Be forthright in calling politicians to order. Preach moral teachings. Emphasize life's importance of prayer. Preach moral godly values and preach against questionable riches. Global programs that transform lives. Tell the truth always. Speak for the poor. Speak the truth without being enticed by money. Do not be part of the social ills, the ills of society. Reverse our value system from money-centered to that which values the sanctity of human life. Compel leaders to fund schools well. Initiate community programs on poverty alleviation. Preach the sacredness of human life irrespective of religious beliefs. People should love others like themselves. Preach about the sacredness of human life. Preach coexistence, tolerance, dialogue. Keep leaders. Let leaders be their brother's keeper. Help people learn about God's kingdom, and so on and so on. That we have identified. Can we say these things that we are saying with one voice in Nigeria? That's the question. Can we be committed in seeking solutions to our national crisis? This is what we must correct. Let us consider the Boko Haram phenomenon, for example. Although its extremist position does not reflect the stand of mainstream Muslims, there was silence from their quarters. Time in everything is very important. If you do not do something at the right time, I'm very sure that most Muslims in the mainstream did not really know what Boko Haram was about. Some of them might have remained and to distance themselves from its activities.
Meanwhile, the suspicion of non-Muslims had been deepened by the bombing of churches and killing of non-Muslims. Who the Hausa language is the Boko Haram? What an unfortunate situation that we're coming into. In fact, I'm aware of this because I know a lady who was going to be married and a lady from to a man from the south. But and make them understand that it is not like that. Most Nigerians in the north know nothing about Boko Haram and have nothing to do with it. The situation described above exists because of some of the things people read from their sacred texts. If not correctly interpreted, in light of contemporary realities, some of these ideas can get people stuck in their boxes. In the scriptures of both Christianity and Islam, there are texts that portray the believer as the saved and the chosen, and others as non-believers and damned. If such text is in the Bible, it must be the word of God to the Christians, not so? If the text is in the Quran, it must be the word of God to the Muslim. Now we find ourselves living in a global community. If we hold to that idea that the only saved one is the one who bears the Christian name or the Muslim name and treats the other with scorn, our global community will be a hostile place and will be unworkable. However, if we all realize or recognize that the unbeliever is not just the one who is not wearing the Christian tag or the Muslim tag, as the case may be, but one who actually does evil, no matter what tag he may be wearing, then we have a chance of making our global community workable. The one who kills innocent people, the one who knows something about why our infrastructures are failed, why we don't have workable hospitals. If it's wearing the Muslim tag, if all of us understand this point, then our global communities will work. We can live together in peace and harmony without accusing each other. Every religion has a vision of unity for its own believers. But today, we need to cherish a greater vision of unity, of the unity of the whole of human race, encompassing people of every race, religion, and nationality. Nevertheless, the principles for forming community remains the same. Scriptures provide guidance because every religion began as a movement of unity, bringing together disparate groups to join together in a new society around a universal vision. Our founder, Father Moon, has taught that this unity has to penetrate every family, for the family is the basis for all greater levels of social unity. Father Moon had proposed and had actually been implementing practical steps in realizing this unity on a deeper level. The following are some of the steps. 1. Establishment of an interreligious council at the United Nations. 2. Peace initiatives in troubled parts of the world. 3. An array of service projects around the world. And 4. Promoting marriage and family blessing. The Interreligious Council at the United Nations was articulated. The need for an interreligious council at the United Nations was articulated as follows. Based organizations and religious movements. Religion can be an ally for peace.
and an ally for social economic development and conflict resolution. In a speech that Father Moon presented at the UN headquarters on August 18, 2000, he said, and I quote, "World peace can be fully accomplished only when the wisdom and efforts of the world's religious leaders work cooperatively and respectfully with national leaders. Serious consideration should be given to forming a religious assembly or council of religious representatives within the structure of the United Nations." Several years later, after his presentation had gone through first reading, second reading, third reading, fourth reading at the UN General Assembly, and was at the final stages, when Secretary General Ban Ki-moon took over as Secretary General, he said, and I quote, "It is time to promote the idea that diversity is a virtue, not a threat. It is time to explain that different religions, belief systems, and cultural backgrounds are essential to the richness of the human experience. And it is time to stress that our common humanity is greater, far greater than our outward differences." As an organ of the UN, the Interreligious Council, following Father Moon's call for Interreligious Council at the United Nations, Nigeria established its own National Interreligious Council, NIREC, following the model of the proposition at the UN. It is our hope that NIREC is living up to the guiding principles for which it was set up. Members, it must be said that members of the Council are there not to serve the interests of their various religions. They are there to serve as the conscience of the nation. Peace initiatives. The Universal Peace Federation has established peace initiatives around the world through its network of ambassadors for peace, comprised of religious and political leaders and other categories of leaders in society. Notable of such peace initiatives are the Middle East Peace Initiative, Northeast Asia and Southeast Asia Peace Initiatives, Africa Peace Initiatives, and Peace Initiatives of the Americas. In Nigeria, we have peace initiatives such as the Benue Peace Initiatives, Cross River Peace Initiative, and the Niger Delta Peace Initiatives. Religious Youth Service. The Religious Youth Service, a project of the Universal Peace Federation, is a model of interfaith community committed to building peace through interreligious action. To date, RYS has completed over 160 projects in 40 countries and stands out as a catalyst for greater religious tolerance and understanding. RYS stimulates a commitment to service from those involved that often lasts a lifetime. The RYS educational experience allows for participants to rejoice in shared cultural and religious heritage of humanity while examining and putting into practice ways that this inheritance can contribute to conflict resolution and the promotion of peace built on the foundation of moral integrity. In the year 2000, in Oyo Town, youth from different faiths and beliefs came together in the spirit of true love and harmony, with sincere heart and honest desire to become one, transcending racial, cultural and religious barriers and differences, working together on a project that will practically unify them in service to the
United Nations and the U.S. Congress recognize him as the King of Peace. And though the Reverend Dr. George Oguri is not a sectional reverend, he embodies all religion. I still to their philosophy that all the major religions of the world are just one big family. Okay, so had a great time listening to him about world unification, coming together, no separation, sectionalism, and all of that, which has actually been the philosophy of peace related to the Primary Federation for World Peace and Unification.
Good afternoon, everybody. We do appreciate your patience and the commitments to this project. It is good when we start something, we finish it conclusively, and we find out what we have been able to get from it. By the grace of God, the Diamond-Crest Youth Education Foundation, in partnership with Universal Peace Federation, is awarding a certificate for this conference. What we have been made to understand is that by September, that the year of the African International Year for the Child, the theme is going to be Education for Peace. So, by tomorrow, at the end of this conference, every participant, from the members of the high table to everybody, there is going to be a certificate to be given to you. So, I would like us to be here until the end of the program so that you can have it. And when you see the certificate, you are going to be happy that you attended this conference. And you can present that certificate anywhere. So, I hand over the mic to the...
Now, but we want to break into our syndicate groups, which we will use today and tomorrow. So we're going to have, since we have had 4 papers since morning, we're going to break into 4 groups. So what I want you to do for me is to take a number from 1 to 4. Madam, you are number 1. It will be your team leader. Your secretary will record every deliberation in that group. When we come back, we are going to distribute copies of the papers so that you can, brainstorm, discuss the papers, come up with a way forward. What is the way forward? What is this paper saying? So what is the way forward? And recommendation. That will form our communique tomorrow. So each group should have a chairman and secretary. And the secretary is recording everything, every discussion in the group. And the focus is that there have been 4 papers today. Group 1, you will have the keynote address of the chairman. Group 2, we will give you the ambassador's paper. Group 3, you will have Professor Shekon's paper. Group 4, Reverend Okorie's paper. So you will look at those papers, not verbatim. There is no time for verbatim. What are the issues there? Look at the title of the paper and look at the content of the paper. What are the issues? How can we move, education? How can our education absorb the issues from this paper? Because that will form your recommendation. And tomorrow when we come, the first thing is that each group will come out in plenary and present. So everybody you must have a report to present tomorrow when we
come of this conference. That will be part of the communique tomorrow. So that that will be our next step after this conference. Thank you. Those are the 2 papers. Yes. So because we don't have enough to 1 person per paper, you will need to read out the issues to your members so that they can deliberate on it. We will read out the issues. What we want you to do is to look at what are the main issues in the paper so that you can start your recommendation as a way forward to this conference. What is the next step? What's the next step? So we are going to the paper as soon as it's presented and we give it to you so that you read it out and deliberate on it. Your secretary will take down your position so that tomorrow when we come, that will be the first thing. Then you will come out and present on your behalf. Which is the capital of Finland. And these strategies of multicultural education and peace education we are actually talking about, the strategies and the plans, I am implementing them and designing curriculum and using migrant artists. Because our schools in Helsinki, there are some schools in Helsinki that we have 30% are migrant background. So everybody's culture, everybody's language, everybody's religion is very important. And when you really inculcate into people to learn how to define who they are, everybody likes to be on the stage and talk about themselves. So when you give people the opportunity to do that, then you really bring democracy very close to you. So basically, I would like, I don't know how we would go about with these whole papers, but I think that for me personally, I would say that education should be free at all levels for all people of Nigeria, because that's and in Finland, education, teachers and kindergarten teachers, primary school teachers, and all teachers have mastered basics. Because when the teachers are highly educated, and when the society has free education at all levels, so the society really civilized. Society is civilized. So, and I think that we have oil in Nigeria, and we have other materials, minerals. So I don't see why we cannot have free education at least to yes, O level, to O level. Because when we actually do it and effect on our people, then we have the potential. So I would like to hear what do you think about it? Yeah. How do we I don't know how we should analyze speech. Because we are still colonized by the Anglo-Saxon culture. So if you happen to be on Google, you can Google this OECD ranking of education all over the world. I checked the one of 2009 after Hong Kong, after China is Finland. I think United States, Britain, and Canada, they are from 26 and 30 and stuff. But I'm very happy now that some states in Nigeria.
On the topic, the multicultural integration of peace and development finance for national unity. Multicultural curriculum. That's what it's to achieve what? Education for peace and development finance for natural unity. Right. Here she has looked into, I don't know whether I can just take time to read it. Does somebody read faster than I do? Than the politician can do? Go on. Yeah, I try. And on, right? Showing the prevalence and intransigent prejudice and discrimination. It's gone further to mention distrust and alienation, and gone further to say schools and educators can or tribalize lives of women, youth, ethnic minorities, and those outside the dominant class or culture. Further, we have things like curriculum, therefore, must be made responsive to peace, education, and multiculturalism. Those few points should tell us a lot. Communication along that line. What do you think? There is a need for peace education to be included in the curriculum, right?
As a means to be able to fast track.
As a means to fast track
the process of establishing peace in Nigeria.
the process of establishing peace in Nigeria. We all agree, please, gentlemen? We all agree? Yes, good. Right. That is one. Please, can you read that loud so that because it talks to Secretary, behave like a secretary and... Do you have a... No, don't whisper. No whispering. A secretary should read loud.
There is a need for peace education to be included in the curriculum, in education curriculum, in order to fast track the process of peace building in Nigeria.
Okay, right. That's education concept. multicultural education concept. Here we can see things like multicultural education multicultural education encompasses differences in race, ethnicity, occupation, socio-economic status, age, gender, sexual orientation, various physical traits, and needs, various physical traits and needs, as well as religion and culture. Now, let me quickly read this so that it can lead us to cite Gates. Gates pointed out the Nigerian culture of the 20th and 21st century is a world profoundly fueled by nationality, ethnicity, gender, and the only way to transcend those divisions to forge, for one, a civic culture that respects those differences and commonality is through education that seeks to comprehend the diversities of human culture beyond the hype and hype-filled rhetoric those are big grammar. It is strictly formulated truth. There is no tolerance without respect, and no respect without education. Can we get anything from that little paragraph?
Policy.
Right.
Policy.
We need a policy.
Yeah. To strengthen the two.
To strengthen the two.
To balance between the students and the teachers.
To balance between
students and the teachers. For example, one. Students are harassing lecturers because they don't want to.
Excuse me, sir. We need the tools to balance what?
Policy.
A policy.
Yeah.
To balance
the tools.
The tools
that will strengthen the gap or build a bridge between the teacher and the pupils.
So that excuse me, in the
students. Yeah, well, I'm not talking about those in the class or in the school. That's the education is between you and I. We are looking at peace resolution. Now we are looking at what can we do with it. So the tools we design the bridge between the gap. If not, there's no communication.
Okay.
That's why students do what you
communication is required, isn't it?
Yeah.
Proper communication. How did we start it, please, Secretary?
We start from policy makers.
That way, okay.
Policy makers.
Right. And also, no, but please let us
get that
we need a policy. Right.
We come to ideologies.
The responsible for the goals and values of the curriculum design, as well as the materials and activities they deliver to the students. I think that will take us towards the tools.
Yes.
So please, can we bring that closer to us? That educators should be aware, of and responsible for the goals and values of the curriculum design.
That's where we go for media.
Yes, cultural education. Enough again.
Cultural education.
Since we are considering multicultural education, beautiful.
I would like to, impute on what he said about the policy, such that this policy should have more interest on integrating the multicultural that exists.
Beautiful. Go that way a bit. That the policy should imbibe integrating the multicultural that exists
in the curriculum.
In the curriculum. Is it only the multicultural? Cutting across culture, religion.
Yes.
Isn't it? So, yeah. Multicultural and religion. Because here we are mentioning only two religions. So culture and religion.
We talk of culture. religion is also part of it. You join together, you join the Yoruba culture, you join the Hausa, you join the Ibibio, you join all the Sekiri. So when you come for this culture, you now look at the traditional aspect of it. So all together, in general terms,
Right.
you want. So in numerical observation, media need to communicate. Media. Why I'm saying this, I'm sorry, I will bring you people back a little. When we were doing IRI.
IRI is what?
Interactive radio instruction.
Okay.
Primary school, about 2002. Those of us who were opportune to evaluate suffered a lot. Some of us that spoke Hausa, we came across, there is a jingle we play. For Igbo language, welcome. For Hausa, it sounds banka. So when you talk of multicultural, those are the differences. So the policy need to observe what they have. There are some culture in this particular country, as we are talking now. Lagos is talking of students should eliminate hijab. Those are the difficulties we are looking forward to design a tool to break those barriers.
Right? Any opinion?
Does that make
For the line on what you have just said, provided we all come from different regions, from different traditions, different mode of living style, when making an evaluation, be it in the community, what have you, it's just highlighting in the office, we should try to consider that somebody that comes from Fulani, an example, or an Igbo land, their standard may not be the same. They are slow learners, which they are all important. Okay? Somebody learns faster, while another learns very slowly. Yes. Because of
please, Secretary, get in what is
diversification on communication skill and difference in perception. Okay. Slow learner, and some differences in their perception, understanding, and beliefs. So while evaluating them, assessing them, or making an appraisal, such things should be considered. And you're very intelligent, but I cannot speak English language fluently.
Yes.
For you to understand.
Ability to communicate.
So that is a hindrance,
yeah,
which an educationist, leader, teacher, what have you, should consider.
Okay.
He may be more brilliant than me, but on maybe Arabic side, French, and some field of study. So I'm just trying to give further light on what you have just said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Royal Highness. Please, Secretary, how are you capturing
also,
that? We want it, excuse me, please, sir, before you go further, let's see how we can put that in a,
We don't have it. By the time she finished primary school, maybe she has 12 to 13 years.
Yes.
Then in the secondary school,
18 years.
18 and above.
Thank you. And by that time, she has value of her life. She will not allow her life to be wasted.
Because the education is not here.
Education for all. Thank you very much.
So we can say education for all.
For all. I think some of our governors are improving, because I can experience some few governors that are giving free educations in their state. So I assume that let the federal government take over the whole state, let it be free education from primary to secondary level to university level. I think that problem will be minimized. You will not have such problem again.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
You wanted to discuss into two.
I also want us to concentrate on the issue at hand. On the issue of the early child marriage, I think, like you said, it's not a matter of giving free education, but making it effective free education. Because one thing is to make it free education for all, but indirectly you know that education is not free. But just like our Bible State did, not just giving free education, but evacuating every child on the street. Every child seen on the street walking will be arrested. Your parents will be arrested. By
File
so
them.
doing,
File them.
no father, no mother, no guider will want to subject any child to go and sell anything during school hours.
Exactly.
That's the only way we make it effective.
That's child
So that
abuse.
if you walk on the street and see any child who is supposed to be in the
you
school
arrest the child and
and
arrest
is
the
at
father
home, you
and
must
file the
know why.
parents.
Because the education is absolutely free. So for us, if other governors are doing it, it's also our right. Let us not wait for federal government to make it an issue, but let us also start from the grassroots. In our own little community, in our families, we should also encourage the girl child education. The girl child has equal rights like the male child, so she should be treated equally and not biasly. If we have this in mind, I think the issue of girl child education should not be our priority. Girl child marriage should not be our priority. Our priority should be girl child education.
Excellent.
You know what I think is that in the absence of education, I think that is why issue of marriage is coming in.
Exactly.
Most especially in the north. Since the child is staying idle, no education, nothing. When someone comes here, I want to marry a child, okay, go ahead. Because she's still at home idle, she don't do anything. And rather she's matured. Maybe look at her, the boss is already over, and everywhere, if you leave her like that, she can go out and bring you something else. So that's why they say encourage them on that side.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Do you right to education? Also, the young people with disability. So this is another point. Also, people with disability must have free education.
Not even free education alone. After the education,
they should
be
employed.
given. Thank you very much. In every part of the society. I think that will encourage.
So, to guarantee the same right to education, the basic education in Finland is completely free of charge. This applies to all instructions, school materials, school meals, health and dental care, commuting, and special needs that may occur. For these reasons, the teachers are able to focus on teaching and learning and bringing new ideas and practices in schools. They do not need to use their time in resolving the different needs of the children. This is very correct. My children benefited from that. So, and me, I benefited also from that. I didn't pay any tuition at the university in Finland.
Why?
It's free.
It's free.
It's free.
India.
And if you want to come tomorrow, as long as you are coming there to do masters, because they don't in Finland they don't anymore allow people to come to do bachelors.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for masters?
Yeah. After
free?
It's free. If you get the admission in the university, and if you are invited to come, it's free. But your living expenses, of course, when you are studying in the university, take care of it. And that's why many of our students, Nigerian students, they do cleaning jobs
so
and wash plates, so they will be able to look after themselves. But school fees, not. And of course, Finland speaks Finnish and Swedish, so you have to learn the language. So it's not in English.
Then which one do you speak?
Myself,
yeah.
I speak both. Yeah, keskustella mun kanssa suomen kielellä.
Ah, that's serious. You have lost, I've lost.
Se on todella mielenkiintoinen kieli.
I'm lost.
Which part of Nigeria are you?
I'm from Anambra.
Wow.
Hope you not go back to.
I hope you know Finland.
I'm leaving on the 3rd of August.
To the Finland. In fact, I'm going to follow you there.
Just when you go to the embassy, just tell the ambassador that you are following me.
I'll tell her definitely.
And why are you not with us to run NGO so that you can help those people like
I will
come and reside here and then organize yours?
I am a politician in Finland. I haven't finished my task.
Your assignments.
Yes. Because my children were born there, and people like me, we have to get our space also there.
Okay.
Yeah. If I have
so you
lived
become an indigene there?
Yes. Actually, I have lived there 27 years, and I was 23 when I left. So I have lived more there than, and my 2 children were born there. So they have to get their own seat, and that's why I'm in politics. Of course, with all the other black people.
Your husband lives there too?
Yes.
Very soon we are welcoming you back to Nigeria.
If you give me a challenge, I'm ready to come.
We are giving you right now. We are
Come and help your father.
And me, as well as that is exactly why I want to. That's basically what realizing that.
If you don't have a job and you are unemployed, you are entitled to go and collect money from the social office. So I pay 25% of my salary as taxes, and if I drive a car and buy petrol, I pay 24% at the spot where I buy a liter of gas. Okay. So, and it's used to feed the people who are unemployed. So at least if you are unemployed, you are sure of your basic meal, but you cannot come on holiday to Nigeria like me.
You see what we Nigerians are supposed to learn?
We're supposed to learn it, but our population will not.
We are still very far. We are far.
We have corruption, no population.
We are talking about 5 million people there.
Yes.
Am I right?
Population
And then we are talking of 170 million.
The ambassador told you that they don't have any minerals.